good, rejoicing, beautiful creatures. I mean, creators. Yeah, I just want to start off by saying thank you for your patience. It's good to be back. And especially big thank you to you, Carlos Ferguson. You're the first person to ever comment on my videos, and man, your kind words blew me away. I felt truly blessed. Thank you so much, my brother. This video is just for you. I know you've been hanging out for one. Now, as you can all see, it's been a while between my spoken videos, and well, no excuses really. So today, what I want to do is just give a little introduction video to my channel. And my channel, which all came about because my heart was telling me that's what I need to be doing. It's telling me to give my gifts to the world and to give them from my heart. And in doing so, man, I'll know I'll be a better person, and I'll definitely learn and grow from all of this, And that's why we're here, to grow, to learn, and our hearts to grow. Because the earth is an anagram for the word heart. See, we live in the heart realm. That's why I call my channel Earth Equals Heart. You take the H from the end of earth, put it at the front, and it becomes heart. You see, words will tell you everything. It's right there in front of our eyes. Not many of us notice, And if you look again at the word heart, you'll see the word here. So what's that? What's that should tell us, That maybe we should be listening to our heart. It's right there in the word. It's basically giving us instructions that we should all do that. And how do we hear? Right in the same word again with our ear. So with the earth being an anagram for the word heart, what insight can that give you as to this whole crazy experience we call life is all about? Well, to me, it's letting us know that our time here in this realm that we call earth has got to do with all matters of the heart. And that we should listen to our heart, And what feelings do we mainly associate when we think of the heart? Love, We also have the words ear and hear in the word heart. So what's that telling us? That if you want to love someone, or if you want someone to love you, you better listen to them. It's right there in the word. The more you listen to people, the more they will love you. And the key to being a good listener is right there in the word listen. It's made up of the exact same letters as the word silent, just in a different order. See? Words will tell you everything. Now, if you want a better relationship with not just your partner, but with anyone, your children, your work colleagues, your friends, listen to them. Stay silent and really listen to them. Now, just by putting in some effort and improving in that one little area, your relationships with anyone and everyone will improve drastically, virtually instantly. If you still need more convincing that you should listen to your heart, have you ever noticed how our ears are kind of shaped like half a heart, And if you could put them together, they would form this weird looking love heart, but a love heart shape nonetheless, Pretty crazy. And just a little bit of random fact I threw in as well. See, now, how do we listen to our hearts? Or should I say, how does our heart communicate with us? It does it through the use of the one truly universal language that every living thing in the whole universe understands on one level or another. This is the language of emotion. E, energy, emotion. See, words will tell you everything. It communicates to us with our feelings. See, even though our heart may not have a mouth to communicate with us like we use to communicate with each other, it still has a voice. It is still producing sound, you see? We each have our own signature heartbeat, and this rhythm broadcasts our own unique signature sound out into the universe. And what is the universe? What's the universe? Uni, one, verse, song. We're all part of the one song. And just like every song has a verse, I wonder if it's our heart's rhythm who are the ones singing the chorus. Because it's the rhythm or beat of our heart which gives us our unique harmonic connection with all living things, from plants to animals to each other, all the way through to the planets and stars. Our ears have the drum and our hearts play the beat. Now, our heart produces the body's largest electromagnetic field. It's largest magnetic field by any organ by far. This field extends to roughly 6 feet beyond our physical bodies in all directions, up, down, left, right, all around us. This field is a constant flow of energy that we radiate or broadcast throughout the universe. This field is what connects us all, and it even has its own unique language, like I said earlier, that universal language I spoke about earlier, the language of emotion. Now, how do we communicate this language to each other? Through our hearts. And where in our body do our emotions generate from? From our hearts, you know? Have you also ever noticed that when we describe certain attributes that people acquire and develop, that it all gets associated with the heart? For example, someone who is caring or generous, is described as someone who has a big heart or a heart of gold. Or when someone speaks with sincerity, it's from the heart. Or, if you're sympathetic with someone's situation, your heart goes out to them, your heart bleeds for them. Or someone who displays courage, showed a lot of heart. And someone who gets discouraged is said to have lost heart. Their heart wasn't in it. Or you may lose someone you love, someone close to you, and that loss feels like it breaks your heart. You feel heartbroken. You walk around with a heavy heart. And man, getting your heart broken is painful. Trust me, I know. We all probably know. But you can physically feel it. That's why our heart hurts. Or hertz, Hertz. And what is a hertz? A hertz is a unit of frequency equal to 1 cycle per second. And it's named after Heinrich Rudolf Hertz, who was the first person to provide conclusive evidence of the existence of electromagnetic waves. Now, in recent years, the scientists at the HeartMath Institute have made some amazing discoveries in how much emotions affect the heart and its electromagnetic field. They discovered how much our heart's beat or rhythm changes in accordance with our different emotional states. These studies have shown that when we have negative thoughts and feel negative emotions such as anger, frustration, sadness, or feelings of stress or anxiety, our heart actually produces a chaotic and disorderly rhythm. And this erratic rhythm seems to distort the natural structure of our heart's electromagnetic field, causing the field to produce a disharmonious pattern which radiates in the universe in discoherence and, in essence, puts the body in a state of dis-ease. Hence the word disease. See, the words will tell you everything. Now, these negative emotions cause our heart's natural rhythm to become unbalanced or out of tune, and our field becomes distorted and weak. When we switch our emotions to be more appreciative, loving, grateful, compassionate, our hearts produce a much more harmonious and coherent rhythm. Researchers at the HeartMath Institute have been able to demonstrate that the rhythms produced from the heart affect our immune system and our overall general health and well-being. This rhythm is so powerful that it is capable of affecting the cells in our body, water, and even our DNA. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen the incredible work of Japanese scientist Dr. Masaru Emoto. In his 2004 book, which was a New York Times bestseller, called The Hidden Messengers in Water, Mr. Emoto showed the effects that human consciousness has on the molecular structure of water. Our consciousness affects water. His water experiments, consisting of exposing water to various words, thoughts, intentions, and music, then freezing it and photographing the ice crystals using some form of, I don't know what he used, some microscopic photography. His amazing photography showed that water exposed to speech, thought, or intention created these stunning visual ice crystals. They look like little snowflakes, and these ice crystals showed magnificent patterns and beautifully shaped geometric designs. And while the water that was polluted with negative words and emotions created these sort of unstructured, distorted, random, ugly ice formations, And if words and thoughts and intentions can change the molecular structure of water enough to be photographed, and our bodies are made up of roughly 80% water, imagine the effects these negative words and thoughts and intentions and emotions must be doing to us physically. Maybe we should all be more aware of not just our words and our thoughts, but also our emotional states. If water can store emotion, is it any surprise that when these emotions build up inside of us and we need to release these negative emotions, the way many of us will release them is through the expelling of water, or tears, or tears. They're both spelled the same way. Are they called tears or tears because there's been a tear in our energy field? And this process of crying, this flooding of emotion, will help our heart to let out that vibratory tension that we've been holding on to heal that tear. I can't say for certain, but that certainly makes sense to me. You know, this flooding of emotion, this flooding of our energy and motion can bring on tears of sadness as well as tears of joy, depending on what energy release we need at the time. And I personally believe that holding on to negative emotions or constantly reliving negative thoughts or of past events and traumas is the number one cause of many illnesses, particularly cancer. See, cancer, in my opinion, is the physical manifestation of negative emotions that we hang on to and store by the water in our bodies. So remember, if you're bitter, you won't get better. But that's just my opinion. And man, I'm not a doctor, okay? I was going to be a doctor, but I didn't have the patience, you know? Just kidding. Now, you see, water, the thing about water is, it is conscious in a way we don't fully understand. And honestly, I don't believe that we recognize water with the honor and dignity it deserves. You know, to me, water is a living God, a sacred deity, you know, a higher form, a form of higher consciousness. If it wasn't for water on this planet, there would be no life. And not only that, water was here on this planet since the beginning of time, long before humans or anything even existed. Water is an ancient ancestor to us all. You know, in fact, if you look at the creation story from the Bible, in the book of Genesis, man, if you pick up the Bible right at the beginning, you know, the very beginning of the Bible, the very opening sentences, it says in the Bible are, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. You know how it goes. Now, what did that just say? And darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. What does that tell us? That water was here even before God created light. God's Spirit was already hovering over the face of the waters. So the opening lines of the Bible is telling us that the only thing existed before anything, before even light, was water and Spirit, or God. You know, and that's, well, according to the Bible, anyway, that's the only thing that existed, you know. Puts a whole new meaning to the words holy water, doesn't it? You know, and that is because to me, man, all water is holy water. And we should all be blessing it anyway before we consume it. Because most of the time, we don't know the journey that water has been on before it made it to your cup, you know, or what energies and emotions it picked up before it got to your cup. So make sure you always give thanks. Show water a little love, a little bit of appreciation every time before you have a sip of it. You know, infuse it with gratitude and heartfelt praise and love like it really deserves. Now, let's continue. Back to the earth, and more importantly, the heart. Now, to understand the connection between our hearts and the earth, we must understand that just as our heart beats can be measured in cycles, or cycles per second, hertz, so can the earth's. I think the earth's resonant frequency is around 7.89 hertz at the moment, I think. And this frequency is known as Schumann resonance. It's named after a physicist, Winfried Otto Schumann, who predicted it mathematically in 1952. Now, according to reports, the vibrational frequency of the Earth has slowly been increasing. And as the Earth is reaching a point in its 26,000 year cyclical journey through the galaxy, into a field consisting of a much broader spectrum, you know, a higher bandwidth of frequencies. Now, as a result of the Earth's journey going through this energy field, the frequency of our planet will continue to rise, and with this rise in frequency, we will also experience a rise in temperature. Because as these high vibrations pass from atom to atom, they transfer heat. They transfer a heat energy, and that's why the world's getting warmer, hence the global warming, Now, the time it takes for the heavens to slowly rotate around the earth and the sun to travel through each of the 12 zodiac signs, with each sign taking its turn to rise behind the sun at the time of the spring equinox, is at roughly 26,000 years. This is known as the precession of the equinox. Now, this time period is known as an astrological age, or as the ancients called it, a great age. And the main reason we are witnessing all these changes taking place in the world right now, is because we have moved out of the old age, the age of Jesus, the fishes, or better known as the zodiac sign Pisces, into the age of the water bearer, Aquarius. Now, this astrological sign, Aquarius, is depicted in the heavens as a woman pouring water from a pot or a jug into another body of water. It's as if she's dumping the old fish of Pisces. She's dumping out the water to move the old fish of Pisces down the river of our past. And this also washes away our old mentality and our old reality. Aquarius is an air sign, so that means it's definitely bringing a more intellectual, mental energy, which also brings in higher states of consciousness as a result. Now, this woman is pouring water. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know, but our brain is made up of roughly 95% water. And this pouring of water downstream is creating waves, representing our brain waves, showing a definite shift in our thinking and our consciousness. Now, we also can't forget it's a woman pouring the water. So that represents the divine feminine. All those magical aspects of the divine feminine that cosmic energy brings. All those wonderful divine feminine traits such as the empathy and the compassion and the acceptance and understanding, and that powerful intuition and creativity. What we're going through is known as the great shift of the ages, or the great awakening. Because with this great shift of the heavens comes a great shift in human consciousness. As above, so below. A shift in consciousness from our lower, unconscious animal self into alignment with our higher, more conscious spiritual selves. This shift or transformation has been prophesied by many ancient cultures all over the world, from the ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, to the Hopi Indians, to the very first inhabitants and traditional owners of this land that we call Australia. Now, this galactic shift started around the year 2000, and last year, 2020, there was an explosion of cosmic energies, and this resulted in a noticeable shift in the consciousness of people all across the globe. 2020 is when people really started to get their vision back, so to speak. And as we are all spiritual beings sharing a human experience, we all know the shift in higher consciousness is happening because we are feeling it. Everybody can feel that something happening right now. Something happening in the world right now. We can all feel it. Our world is changing. And what direction it goes in is up to us. Up to all of us. You see, those of us that can see through all the propaganda and the massive marketing shove by our governments and mainstream media, which is happening all over the world right now, can do so because it has nothing to do with people's levels of intelligence. In fact, man, I know lots of incredibly talented and intelligent people that just can't see it. So it's nothing to do with intelligence. It does have to do with each individual's connection with their higher self. Each individual's own personal level of consciousness. But man, I'll talk about that later, man. That subject will definitely need its own video. And anyway, where was I? So now, just like how our mind is so much more than a brain, our heart is so much more than a pump. The heart is also our internal heat source. It heats and warms our blood. And our heart is situated just above our solar plexus chakra, which is our inner sun. And just as the sun distributes heat all throughout the solar system, our heart distributes heat all throughout our body. And just as the sun's electromagnetic field affects all life in the solar system, our heart's own electromagnetic field affects all life on this planet. As above, so below. Now, just as the sun radiates energy across the cosmos, we radiate energy across this planet as well. And what we put out finds its way back to us. We reap what we sow. And that's because all energy must return to source. Remember that. All energy returns to source. So once you start to become more aware or more in tune with your own emotional states or vibration, or to put it simply, in tune with how you're feeling in any given moment, then that's when you can start to really take command of your journey here. You know, you can take your power back, so to speak. Because then you have the power to choose. You have the power to choose if you want to continue feeling those negative emotions, you know, or do you want to raise your vibration, raise your emotion, your energy in motion into a higher, more harmonious state. You know, because you see, you might not be able to change the circumstances or situations and events that cause those fucking negative feelings. They're in the past. You can't change them. But you can change how you're feeling right now, in this very moment. And how do we do that? By choosing to be thankful and grateful for everything we have. You know, be grateful to be alive. You know, and to be actually experiencing this magical journey that we call life. Because our energy flows where our attention goes. Now, is your attention causing you to feel at tension? See, in other words, I'll tell you everything. Because how you feel right now, in the present, is the greatest gift you can give yourself. And why is that? Why is it the greatest gift? Because it's the only thing that exists. And when you think about it, it's the only thing that will ever exist. You see, the past has been and gone. The future hasn't come yet. They're both illusions. You know, all we have is the now. The present. Continuously. Now. You know what I mean? In fact, it was the very first present. And what a gift it is. It was the very first present we ever received. You see, I'm not sure how many of you realize this, but life is the very first birthday present you ever receive. Let me say that again. Life is the very first birthday present you ever receive. It's a gift. So where am I going with all this? What is the message in all this? There has to be a message, right? Well, basically, the message I want to get across and share with you guys is we need to start cultivating a common unity in our community. Let me say that again. We need to start cultivating a common unity in our community. That's what the word community means. Common unity. See, we need to start to encourage everyone out there, especially at this time, especially with what's happening in our world at this very moment, you know. We need to encourage everyone to open up their hearts and let our intuition or our inner tuition guide us and all of humanity into a better, more loving, caring, heart-based society. You know, one where we consciously choose to step away from that old paradigm of the past, you know, all that fear-based, ego-driven, self-centered, materialistic, and massively manipulated type of society that they try and force onto us. And let's start to cultivate a more caring, harmonious, understanding, loving, encouraging, more authentic, and genuinely more soul-satisfying society to live in. A society where we stand up and support each other. You know, we support each other to speak our truth. A society where we share knowledge and openly discuss ideas and challenge and help each other to be better. A place where we can all live and strive to inspire and encourage each other to face our fears, to grow, and to unearth from within our soul's unique purpose for being here. We've all got a reason for why we're here. So we can create and live in a world that's balanced and beneficial for everyone. So that everyone prospers. Not just the few of the guys at the top, you know. And the only way we can do that is to re-establish the connection we have lost with foremost ourselves. then that connection with each other, and then our connection with the planet and all living things on it. See, we all have to take some responsibility for re-establishing this connection, because losing this connection is why everything went off track in the first place, and no one can repair it for us. It is our responsibility, or our response ability, our ability to respond. We have to put in the effort, because we make up society. Society doesn't make up us. We have to be the ones to make the changes we want to see. No one can do it for us. Now is the time to speak up and use your voice. We need to encourage others to stand their ground and listen to their hearts, and speak from our hearts, and use our voice to influence the world for the better. Man, I want to live in a world where that has its heart in the right place, so to speak, You see, whether you know this or not, you chose to be here on this earth at this very moment in the history of human evolution. Actually, I bet every single person who listens to this has a voice inside them, or a feeling inside them that somehow, in some way, that they're here to save the world. Well, you are. Now's the time to stand up. Stand up and make our voices and power known to the world. And become leaders by being the person who we are destined to be, and by being the change we want to see. Which means we have to demand more from ourselves. Be the change you want to see in the world. Encourage others. Encourage each other. Show more kindness. Listen more intently. Chase our dreams. Follow our hearts. Man, get stronger. Eat better. And stay grounded. Let's all be the person who proudly and openly wears their heart on their sleeve. There is no time like the present, so let's give our gifts to the world. Man, just want to say thanks, guys, for your time, and I hope that made sense. And if my message resonates well with any of you out there and you'd love to show your support, then don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and as always, don't forget to know love, show love, and we can grow love. Anyway, I'm out here. Peace. Thank you.